Today we are checking out a new analog stereo filter from Elta Music. They made the Solar 50, that big drone synthesizer that I reviewed a while back. So Elta Music sent over this filter to me, and in today's video I thought we'd just run a bunch of synthesizers, some drum machines through the filter, see what it sounds like, see if we like it, and you let me know down in the comments. So this filter here is a stereo filter. We have two inputs here, two outputs. You can have the filters running in parallel. You can also have them running in series, and I'll show you this later. Over here we have CV control over the frequency. We can also use these switches here to control both of the CV knobs, just using one of the knobs. So you can have this knob here controlling both filters. Or use CV to either independently control the cutoff of the filter or link it so that you can use one CV source to control both filters. So the filters are identical. We have frequency control, we have resonance, we have the different modes. So there's 4 different filter modes and you can set them independently per channel. So there's low pass, there is band pass, there is high pass, and then there's the notch filter. Then we have level control for the filter, and there's also a dry and wet knob, which is really nice. So you could just blend in a bit of the filter if you want to. The second filter is identical, and then there's the hard and soft switch, and this basically changes the characteristics of the filter. So hard means that it's the more classic POLYVOX kind of filter sound, kind of gritty, kind of rough, and soft just makes it a bit smoother, a bit softer. And in terms of noise, we have white noise, and we have pink noise. Okay, so next up we have the Drumlogue Impact. I haven't used it in quite some time. It doesn't have a master filter, I think it has master distortion. So I thought it would be a good candidate for an external filter. Okay, let's make a little pattern. And we'll skip the FM drum for now. So this is without the filter. Can add some distortion. And let's bring in the filter. So this is on the soft setting, you can go hard. And I actually really like the notched filter, so I have both of them set to notched. Got a lot of resonance cranked up, and I'm controlling the filters individually. I set it to hard. Gives it almost this kind of phaser effect. Let's go in deeper. Tung synt driver jag fram som ett band som bandas för många gånger med samma trams. Jag tungsint, jag är en ensam lyricist som till sist vunnit genom lite list. Alright, let's do some classic bass boosting. We got our little high pass filter here. Ooh, nice. Ooh, starts like really breaking apart. Let's go soft. That's crazy. Let's go hard. Something like this. And the other filter is a low pass filter. So let's go dry. Let's bring in the bass boosted and a bit of noise. That's pretty cool. And can I just tell you that I've totally forgotten how good the Drumlogue Impact is. I think it's my favorite like affordable drum machine. Just instant vibes. So now that we've taken a look at using the filter here in mono mode and using the filters in a series, let's use them parallel. And as you can see here, we are controlling the filters using the saddest little Eurorack case that I've ever put together. It's just the DivKid 8 LFO here. Yeah, just to control the two filters individually. They are set to low pass. Just adding a bit of noise here, some white noise, and let's play something. What's really nice when you're running in stereo is that you can set the filters to different types. So here we have low pass, here we have high pass, and here's the sound without any effects. Let's introduce the effects and some noise. And I have CV controlling the filters individually. Very nice. Here's an initialized sound. And soft. And I'm gonna find a bass sound. So here's the dry sound. Really nice. And soft. So you get a lot more control with the soft setting. It's more gnarly and dirty with the hard one. So just the dry again. So one thing that I really wanted to try was to use the filters here in series, not in parallel. So you can use them stereo, but you can also use them in series. So to do this, I basically just hooked up the Minilogue here into the filter. And then I've taken the output here of the first filter into the input of the second filter and out here. And because these are 12 dB filters, you basically get a 24 dB filter when combined. So let's try it. And I think that we probably should link the filters. So I'm controlling the cutoff here using one knob. Just gonna tweak the Minilogue a little bit. So we have a quite boring sound. And this is what the filter on the Minilogue sounds like, with resonance turned all the way down. And with resonance turned up, you lose a lot of the bass frequencies. So let's introduce the filter. Let's sweep. So that was on the soft setting. Let's go hard, and I think we'll notice that it's a little bit more interesting. Oh, you start hearing something here. Just making sure settings, the resonance is down on both. Both are set to low pass. We have similar level here, maybe a little hotter on the first filter. So let's crank the resonance on both filters. I mean, that's a big difference from the filter on the Minilogue. So that's the hard setting. Let's go soft. So that's a much cleaner sound. So that was on the hard. So you can hear it has this very gritty tonality. So if I just go dry again. Let's do one note. Like you can really hear it. It gets really gnarly. So using the filter on the Minilogue. Just to give you an idea, and let's go wet. I mean, that's pretty gnarly. I think that the hard and soft switch is very useful. Sometimes you don't want that super aggressive sound. You want something smoother. And here's a little bit of warning. Gonna try and use a high pass filter here into a low pass filter. Gonna boost the bass a bit with the high pass filter. And then control the highs using the low pass filter. Okay, so when you crank the resonance, it can get pretty intense. So I think that this is actually my first experience with a POLYVOX filter, so I can't really speak to how good it is in like relationship to the classics. As some of you might know, I'm not a big classics fan, but as somebody who's just discovering the POLYVOX filter, I think it's a lot of fun. I think it sounds great. It feels really well built, and it doesn't introduce all that much noise. Of course, there's always a bit of noise when you have analog circuitry and you're pushing the levels a bit. You will hear some small amount of audible noise. So do you want one? Do you actually need it? I think you know if you need a stereo filter, but I can see a ton of use cases like I've showed you with, for example, digital synths where you want to add more grit, or just on a drum machine, for example, being able to get out even more interesting tones out of it. I think there's just so many different use cases for a filter like this. But all in all, I am pleasantly surprised. I had not intended to make a long form video like this. I had intended to make like a feature of this in like a video with multiple different pieces of gear. But I ended up making this video here, spending time I don't really had this week on it because I had fun with it. It sounds good, it's interesting, and it's not too crazy expensive. So if you want to, go and check it out. I'm not affiliated with them. I don't get anything if you click the link, but you can go and check it out if you are interested in it. So let us all know what you think about this filter down in the comments.